So hi, it's Ken again, and we're back in my garden. We're going to do a bit more training. It's a beautiful summer's day here in Kirkby and Ashfield. So we're going to do some mud walking today. You guys know I practice the internal arts, so Mead, Yiquan, the internal arts, which is an umbrella term. And this is from Yiquan, or Yiquan, however you want to pronounce it. So this is the mud walking. You get mud walking in Bagua. You also get it in Yiquan. Yiquan, based around standing postures, but I'm just starting to waffle, so we'll get into it. So we'll start with the heels together. I want you to take your arms out to the heels. We'll go through the postural alignments first. So head as if suspended from above, tongue on the roof of the mouth, that feeling like the ears being pulled back, the jaw parallel to the floor, skull lifting up off the spine, as if touching the neck against the collar of a shirt. Sink the chest to round that upper back. When the arms shouldn't be too close to the body as we go through here, but always keep that small gap underneath each armpit. Sink the ribs to fill the lower back, pelvic area tilted forwards, feels like it's hanging down plumb from that suspension from above. Relax there, or soften the hips, soften the knees, soften the ankles. Okay, so take your arms out to the sides of the body as if you're holding on to rails here. Okay, I'm going to drop the weight of my body down onto my right leg. You can mirror me here if I edit this front view into it. So more weight towards the heel, you have that 70-30 weight distribution, soften the insteps. Imagine on the other foot, the empty foot, imagine you have like a bean bag on the toes, or you can imagine having like I think they call them sliders, like a flip-flop thing, and I'll put a picture of it in the edit here. Okay, so imagine you have one of them on the end of your feet and you don't want to drop it off. Okay, and just slide the foot forwards. Just hover the foot over the ground and slide it in and slide it behind you without sticking the bum out or curving in the lower back. So sink the ribs, fill the lower back, sliding in towards you like you've got a bean bag or one of those slider shoes, flip-flop type things on the foot, and you don't want to drop it off. Sliding foot. You can imagine that on the floor, imagine there's marbles, and you're sliding them in towards you with the outside of the foot and sliding them away from you with the inside of the foot. Sliding towards you with the outside of the foot, sliding them away from you with the inside of the foot. Sliding here. You can imagine you're in muddy water here. Knee-deep muddy water, really thick muddy water, so you're pulling your foot through it. Pushing your foot out. You can imagine you have a spring between the knees, and you're stretching that spring, and then guiding it back in. Sliding the marbles with the outside of the foot, and moving in towards the body, sliding them away from you with the outside of the foot. You're in this muddy water, so moving your foot or your leg through that water, so pushing it through. You have a spring between your knees, you're stretching that spring, and bring it back in. Okay, we'll change legs. So drop the weight onto the other leg, more weight towards the foot, towards the heel of the foot, that's 70-30 weight distribution. Okay. With the other foot now, imagine you have that slider, that flip-flop, that bean bag on the toes of the foot, and you don't want to drop it off. Hold onto the rails, keeping that bean bag on the foot, and again make sure the lower back doesn't curve in when you go back, your bum doesn't stick out, sink the ribs, fill the back. Slide the marbles away from you with the inside of the foot, sliding in towards you with the outside of the foot, away with the inside of the foot, towards you with the outside of the foot, looking into the distance, as if looking at a beautiful object in the distance. Hold onto the rails, moving through the thick, muddy water, stretching the spring between the knees, keeping the flip-flop, the beanbag on the sole of the foot, or not the sole of the foot, on the toes, on the plantar part, the dorsal part of the foot. Through the thick, muddy water, stretching the spring, sliding the marbles, and then slide the foot forwards. And feel as if you're screwing the foot down into the ground, screwing the foot down into the ground. And ease across. Slide the marbles towards you with the outside of the foot, sliding away from you with the inside of the foot, stretch that spring. Push across, ease across, nice smooth movement through this area of the quad here. Hold onto the rails, head up, looking into the distance, slide the marbles. Move through the mud, stretch the spring. Nice smooth transfer across. Whole body movement is a complete unit. Slide the marbles towards you with the outside of the foot, away from you with the inside of the foot, stretch the spring, screw the foot into the ground. Don't do it as exaggerated as that. I have the feeling as if you're screwing the foot down into the ground. Pushing up the top of the head. Moving from your centre, in the area about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the centre body. And we'll go backwards here. So slide the marbles towards you, Sliding away from you, already moving from your core, so you're engaging the pelvic floor here, the diaphragm, all the muscles around your center. Slide the marbles towards you with the outside of the foot, pushing away from you with the inside of the foot. Screw the foot into the ground, move through the thick muddy water. Slide the marbles towards you, move through the water, slide them away from you. The foot's just hovering across the floor, as if walking through that mud. Slide the marbles towards you, away from you. Keep the head out, looking into the distance. Really feel what's happening inside the body. Sliding. Nice smooth transfer, but go forwards again. Smooth transfer, moving from your center. Sliding those marbles, screwing the foot into the ground, holding onto the rails. It's a nice smooth transfer across. Walking through thick, muddy water, stretching the springs between the knees, sliding the marbles, keeping the slipper on the sole of the foot. And we can imagine whatever we want to imagine, can't we? So if you've got one of those minds that's saying, oh, you can't do all these things at the same time, you can imagine whatever you want. And the better we can imagine it, the more the central nervous system will put the body into the position to perform the things that we are imagining. So really put your mind into it, engage, visualize that thick, muddy water, that sludgy water. Stretching the spring, sliding the marbles towards you with the outside of the foot, away from you with the inside of the foot. Stretch that spring. Sliding, screw the foot into the ground. Okay, do that for as long as you like. I'm gonna finish there. So you can finish that with some waist turning or just tapping the body. And just loosen up. Make sure you're not holding on to residual tension. You really get a dynamic spring from the body with that, with all those visualizations. So make sure you're not tensing the body externally with just muscular effort. We're trying to work with the connective tissue, the sinew, the white tissue inside the body, the myofascia. So just you can shake your body out just to make sure you're not holding on to any residual tension. But that's my video for now. So I will finish there. So I will see you in the next film. So bye for now.